Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me in another of my little ditties, my little monologues. Cheers. It's getting cold now, have you noticed? I think we are now, that sort of mild patch is a little bit over. Cheers. Just warming myself up with a bit of hot tea, which is what we all need when we get a little bit cold. Now, Julia and I have been away over the weekend, so I've missed some of the videos that I would normally put out. We were down in Wells in Somerset on a conference with Clive Edwards, which was fascinating, all about law and governance, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was great to meet all those people who turned up for Clive's event, who were very much pleased to meet us as well, which was lovely. And we were selling the book, Biggleswick. I'll give it a plug, why not? Here it is. And it was lovely to be able to sort of sign copies of the book to people who turned up willing to make a purchase. So thank you very much. And just briefly on that note, because we've been away, those people who've ordered books, yes, we're now catching up with the orders. So thank you so much. They will be in the post early this week. So have no fear. We'll get back on top of that. As we drove down to Wells, there was this enormous amount of, well, a big downpour, you might say, huge. I think that somebody said it was, it had a name. Was it Claudia or something like that? Storm Claudia had hit the landmass we call Britain. And I don't know if it was worse in other places. Somebody's emailed me this morning to say, I hope your land's all right. And actually, we haven't yet been there, so we're going to, as soon as I've done this, we're hot-footing it back up to Biggleswick Farm to have a look to see if everything's okay. That's the trouble when you have a little bit of land and you go away, of course, and then something happens. There's a storm, there's wind, there's rain, there's snow, there's hail, all those sort of things. You're immediately going, oh my goodness, I hope everything's all right. So we are hoping and praying that everything will be all right, and we'll let you know, of course, in due course. While we were there, we met some amazing people. One of the things that took place, though, was the carnival at Wells. They have it, the carnival goes around to a number of different places. The local people spend, I understand, a year or so working on all these amazingly huge floats, like 3 or 4 trailers worth, all pulled along by tractors, but you'd never know. Extremely bright and illuminated. I think it is an illuminated carnival, and I've got the little brochure here. Now, it's not normally my kind of thing. Being an ex-entertainer, I used to get involved with all these sort of entertainment things, and I see it from a different perspective than the spectator. So I was quite tired, so I actually went to bed. But by golly, it was extremely loud. The lovely Julia did go and see it, and of course many other people went to see it. And it was interesting to note, somebody made the comment that there was a lot of satanic messages in there. Now, I'm sure that they're not put in on purpose on a carnival like that. But it is interesting that not so much this event, I mean, you know, it's a family-orientated event, but it's amazing how much those satanic ideas, the sort of macabre of death and stuff, in recent years has been feeding into pop music, into all sorts of presentations. We see all that symbology, don't we? And it's a shame that we're not seeing love and light being pushed more than the satanic values. But is that because most people think, no, it's a bit, you know, a bit boring, it's a bit sort of simple, where, you know, the sort of the dark and the macabre and the mysterious or the satanic, it seems to be more interesting. But I would say just be careful what you watch, really, and what we are being continually brainwashed with. But anyway, I didn't actually personally see it, so I can't comment. I've seen some videos of some of the floats, and they did look amazing. It looked like everybody had a magnificent time. And I think more of this sort of stuff in my book, Biggleswick, it does talk about we need to bring back the community in the towns together on those big old projects that people used to do, like carnivals, and have more sort of assemblies of people where they can get together. I do feel that we're so busy looking over there at somewhere else, and often on other parts of the world rather than in our own areas. And it would be lovely to see more of that. Julia was telling me about the little carnival in the village where she grew up, of how, more simple it was, but more personal. It would be the local people doing things, but it wasn't quite so gaudy and big. The necessity to over produce what wasn't there, and probably the money as well. And it's nice to see ordinary people getting together and competing, one school competing with another school, the Brownies and the Cubs and all those sort of little institution things that young people get involved in. I don't know whether so many young people get involved in those things these days. We've seen the loss of youth centres where young people could hang out together and effectively put the world to rights as they saw it, as they're beginning their journey through life and entering adulthood. So I'd like to see more of that sort of carnival thing. That was the sort of thing that really impressed me, even though I have to say I didn't see it myself. Now, I wanted to highlight one thing. Excuse me. When we were at the event, the conference, a lovely chap and his good lady, Darren and Joe, came over and they said, "Could we barter for your book?" And they say, "You talk about it on your channel. Can we barter for your book?" And I said, "Well, depends what you're offering, I suppose." And they said, "Well, something for your land." And they gave me this little interesting flat box. And when I opened it up, I saw in there something rather remarkable that Darren himself had made. And let me just put the box on the floor here. Yes, look at these incredible dowsing rods made out of copper. So now I'm not overly familiar with I'm familiar with the idea of it, and I've seen many people doing it. We have a friend who does it quite a bit, but I've never really sort of got to grips with it myself. But these are very beautiful, and we're hoping that we can use these, Julia and I. I'm sure Julia will be more sensitive than I, and look for water on the land. But of course, dowsing doesn't have to be limited to just water. You can also use it to ask questions in the same way that you do with a pendulum. It's all dowsing, isn't it? And so it could be really interesting to find out more about the land, if there's sort of, buried treasure. Or, in one of the episodes you would have seen we dug up different bits of pottery and some glass Shipham's paste bottles and ink bottles and things. And who knows, there may have been, in the long distance past, some sort of community up there where we are. Who knows? So it'll be fascinating to get to grips with these wonderful dowsing rods. But they're beautifully made. He made them himself, and that's what he does. So thank you so much, Darren and Joe. It was really nice to have that and to be able to barter. A couple of other people bartered some coins of silver, which was lovely. And that's in some ways more value than the fiat currency. Of course, we all know that fiat currency is really just a bit of a myth, but this myth is still held by most people out there, and we can still use it to buy food and other necessities of life, which is very important. Just looking for my cup of tea. So this is just really sort of an informal chit-chat, just to say we're back from our travels. We will be back on Biggleswick Farm. Do check out the English couple. The next episode will be out there. Hope you're enjoying it. And enjoy it for what it is. We're not experts. We're not pretending to be experts. We're not telling other people how to do their lives. Just enjoy it for what it is. If it inspires people to get out into the countryside, if it inspires people to maybe get their own bit of land or to get into the back garden, plant a few things, then that's fantastic. I think that we do need to concentrate on producing food and being more responsible for ourselves in many different ways, and I've spoken about this numerous times. And this is just our way of moving on from talking about things to actually doing things. And I think that's a very important thing. It's very easy to get sucked in, especially now with AI producing videos left, right and centre and not really knowing what's true and what isn't, into watching stuff and just doing that and not actually getting up and doing stuff. So thank you for watching. It's been lovely to hear from you. If you're interested in Biggleswick book, just email me, richard@vobes.com. I will get back to you, but not necessarily the same day because we've got a lot on, but I will get back to you and I'll let you know how you can get hold of a copy, and it'll be winging its way in the post to you. Take care, thanks very much, and bye for now.